starting off here, just doing a bit of an acid wash. So the whole kit comes with all this acid. Now it's a bit hard to see on the time lapse, but when you put it on, it actually starts smoking. So make sure you have good ventilation. Probably not meant to be doing it in bare feet like I'm doing it. And then you just gurney it off or pressure wash it off, and it comes up quite clean. Now this slab was really dirty. It was just ingrained in all this horrible clay, because while I was putting the shed up, it continuously rained on and off for weeks, so it was absolutely stuck in there, and this acid did a really good job. So here we are, just mixing up the epoxy. It's a 2-pack, of course. You've got to put the hardener into it, and there's the hardener. You actually mix up the epoxy first just to make sure it's all mixed in there. Empty some out, you only got a limited work time. So you pour the right amount of hardener in there and then give it a good mix. Now you're going to have a few people here doing this, because you've got to be on the ball. One person's got to be cutting in with the paintbrush and 2 rolling. And on the first coat, it just sunk in like no tomorrow, and we thought we were going to actually run out of material. This is 100% epoxy. I believe you can get stuff that is 80% epoxy, but this stuff is harder wearing and you'll get longer life out of it. So for 162 meters, or that's 531 feet in the old-fashioned measurements, it is only $150 extra. So this whole job only cost me $900 to do. So on the first coat, we decided to put the glass beads in. Some people do it on the second coat for a bit of extra grip, but I decided to put it on the first coat. So the guy throwing the beads out has to be right up the back sides of the guys rolling, so they sort of get embedded into the actual epoxy, not just sit on top. And when you roll the second coat, it'll just pick up all the glass beads. On the last part of the first coat, we did run out of the glass beads, so it was all good. Ran down to the local landscaping place just around the corner from me and got some dried river sand, and that worked just fine. You can't really tell the difference, and it still provides the same amount of grip as the actual glass beads. By this stage, we were getting pretty worried about the amount of epoxy paint we had left. It was going down pretty fast. This concrete floor was absolutely sucking it in. One thing I forgot to mention is you do have to leave this about a week to dry. You need the slab completely and utterly 100% dry before you put the epoxy on, because you don't want water trapped in there and it'll bubble the epoxy. So I left this for just over a week to dry before we put this first coat on. I used a small blower to blow some of the excess sand away. Now it took about 2 hours to do the first coat, and it dried over about 5 or 6 hours, and then that afternoon we were able to roll the second coat on. The top coat goes on quite fast. Just make sure you get it on really evenly and make sure you don't get big fat roller lines in it. You only use about half as much on the second coat, thank goodness, because it did look like we were going to run out, but we actually ended up having about a quarter of a bucket left over. So it looks really nice at the end of the day. It's grippy, and it took about 7 days before I put anything on it. You could walk on it the next day, but I left it 7 days to make sure it really cured and hardened. So if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and please give this video the thumbs up. And if you've done epoxy flooring before, please comment and tell us about it in the comment section. So for $900, I am really happy the way this came out. It's really hard wearing. I've been using it for a few months now. You get the minor scratches in it when you're dragging stuff around, but it is really worth the money. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.